First of all, you don't know me.
We're all about that high school drama girl, all about them high school queens. We'll take you for a ride in our comic girl, drama girl, cheering for the right team. Drama queens, smart girl, rough girl, fashion but you're tough girl. You could sit with us, girl. Drama queens, drama queens, drama queens, drama queens, drama queens.
Well, gosh, Sophia, they gave you the burning boat episode.
The penultimate episode. It made me so emotional to watch this, you guys.
Me too.
This was a great ep.
Oh, man.
All right, season 9, episode 12, Anyone Who Had a Heart. All of us. Air date March 28, 2012. Okay, as Haley prepares to MC the annual Tree Hill Burning Boat Festival, Brooke uses this opportunity to process her father's betrayal, while Julian tries to breathe new life into a past idea. Mouth and Millie make a change, and what a change it is to their morning show. And Clay and Quinn get ready for Logan's first night at the beach house. Director Sophia Bush.
Oh, it was me, darling.
Written by Brian L. Ridings. He was a new writer on the show, I guess, right? I don't recognize
I
him.
didn't recognize his name.
Yeah, I think he was new for our last season. And what a great episode. The callbacks to early season nostalgia, the kind of lessons you see all of these adults that we've grown up with processing. I loved it so much.
And there were so many pieces of nostalgia that were intentionally dropped in. I mean, watching the boys on the river court, watching Brooke and Victoria back together, Mouth and Millie back together. Haley with Lydia a lot was great too, but being able to see, I love that they just like threw Chase and Haley together for this whole episode since Nathan was not around.
It was so sweet.
And being able to see Quinn and Clay finally coming together as a family, the family they've always wanted to be, with Logan included now.
Getting to see Richard Burgi with his shirt off.
I mean, right?
What?
Like,
Hello.
okay, Daddy.
Who knew that was the shirtless hunk this show had been missing the whole time? Holy cow, sir.
I know.
My gosh.
You know, it was really fun to watch. There's so much I remember about the episode, obviously, because I directed it and because it was so close to the end. And there was so much that I had pinging around in my brain and in my heart about what I wanted to make sure it felt like as we began to, close the box and then put the bow on it and wrap up our show. And it was really fun going into it thinking, oh, I can't wait to remember all of this, and then to still be surprised. I forgot that Julian was doing this practice pitch to Brooke, and then it did that great transition to find him in the pitch. What I remembered as soon as it started is Peter Kowalski, our DP, and I worked really hard on these kinds of cool trick shots where the camera's pulling back but also zooming in, and it kind of changes the way the movements feel across the long dining room table at Brooke and Julian's house. Yeah. And instantly I remembered this moment, standing in my wardrobe behind Video Village, watching them do it with second team and being like, okay, it's working. Oh my God, we got it. This is going to be so great. And like those little things that put energy, in the opening of the episode. I wanted the energy to feel up. I wanted it to feel happy. And I think it did.
It really did.
Mm-hmm.
And when you transition to him being in the actual boardroom, was that because there's a picture over Julian's shoulder, and it is either is or it's very intentionally reminiscent of the Warner Brothers water tower.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which, by the way, was a part of One Tree Hill, which is a part of the CW, So I wasn't certain if we were allowed to reference that or if you were just cheekily put in something that was nearly identical to it.
I would imagine that was a decision made by the producers. I do know we all were like, he's like pitching the WB, right? Like that's what we're doing. And I liked in a way that the pitch got to go so well. And also that it felt light, despite the fact, obviously, that our writers were trying to poke fun at, Twilight and the Vampire Diaries and everything else. It worked. Austin delivered it with so much humor. And the kind of coyness between Brooke and Julian, I think, overshadowed what might have seemed petty on the page. And then when he's in the room and her feedback, which seems silly and flirtatious, actually works.
Yeah.
And then we make fun of ourselves and he's like, it doesn't have to be in a conference room. It can be in a hot tub. Like it just felt very correct.
Here's my pitch that I think this was a missed opportunity because we were at the end of our show. We totally could have done a spinoff that was the filmed version.
Yes.
Like Julian's version of Ravens.
Absolutely.
It could have started a whole new series where we just like took the characters in different directions as you do and named them different names.
Way, it could have been like The Office. You could have watched everyone film a TV show.
Yeah.
You could have been filming the filming of the TV show. It could have been a really funny thing.
Even just like the meta, it would have been so meta.
As a fan as well, it would have been cool for Lucas to have been back in at least some capacity, seeing as how it's his book that's being pitched. Even if it's just him and Julian like talking it out or something.
Yeah.
I think the fans would have loved that. And like that's the most organic way to have him be there. It's his book. It's his material.
Yes, especially because we did get that years ago. We had Lucas and Julian working together, trying to make a project together. It was the whole, we got James Van Der Beek to come in as the worst director ever. We've seen it and it's worked, and it would have been really fun to nod to that moment when, we didn't get to make Ravens as a movie, an Unkindness of Ravens as a movie. And now Julian's going to do it as a show. It would have been so cool to offer that it was working to the writer. What I will say is not having that character come back, what touched me and what I did forget is that as Julian is pitching it, because Brooke is his wife, he pitches this story of all these kids in high school in a way that kind of sounds like a love letter to her. And the first version, when they tried to make the movie, really wasn't. She was so offended by her character write-up, and it all went so badly for them that they almost broke up. And I was like, oh my God, look at the way he's pitching this. This is so sweet. Like, if I'd actually been her, what I would have given to be a fly on the wall for this moment. And I was really touched by that. I didn't remember it.
Well, we didn't have James either.
Which is so weird.
So weird.
What was he doing? Because I know, and I don't remember what, and we should have asked him in Paris.
Did he direct the episode before this by chance? No, he didn't, did he?
I don't think so. I wasn't paying attention.
If he was off editing.
But he had something going on this, season 9 special time, season 9 miniseries, because he negotiated to have a certain number of episodes off. Mm-hmm. So, that was the kidnapping storyline was partially motivated by that. But I couldn't believe that one of the episodes they gave him off was the second to last one. I was like, hello, he must have been filming or something.
Yeah.
And needed the week. I will say though, Joy, you did such a beautiful job making Nathan's absence work as Haley, because the way that you shared, what was essentially expository writing to explain why he's gone, you grounded it in such a place of, I've really been through something with my person, but our kid has been through it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you put a real weight behind that. And so even though it felt strange as a viewer to have Nathan missing, your explanation of why and what Jamie needed and how you have to prioritize your kid above even yourself made the whole thing work for me. So hats off to you.
Oh, thanks. I think it's we know as actors, we're like, wait, we missed our character in the show. But it is plausible for sure. Mm-hmm. I think as a family, that's just what they would have needed. And I really enjoyed seeing Haley just happy with Lydia. It wasn't all the stress around the baby. It feels like since Lydia was born, there was just stress. So this was nice. Plus, I had my my breastfeeding body, which was super fun to see. like all the baby weight had dropped off and my boobs were big. I was like, oh, that's fun. That's
You're like,
new.
hey, girl.
You know who else's body was dramatically different was good old Mouth.
Good old Mouth.
Yes.
Thank God we put that fat suit to bed.
Yes. I'm sure he was thrilled as well.
Oh, to see Mouth and Millie in a scene that wasn't about that ridiculous storyline was so nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Them really getting back to themselves. And I loved that the run, even though it came from a storyline we hated, gave us the device to get to the river court with all the boys. Because seeing them get back on the court and Mouth doing his announcing like he did in season 1, even in the pilot, it hits you with that nostalgia and you remember how far these friends have come together. And now so many of them have kids and it's like, oh my God, again, just thinking about what we wanted to call back from the beginning of the show as we were wrapping it up. I thought it was a great device for the writers to put all the boys there and then to bring Millie there. And for that to be the place where she said to him, you miss sports. And yes, I want to work with you. And yes, I want to be with you every day. But I know you enough and love you enough to know what you need. And that it wound up being, the joke of like, you're trying to get me fired. Like the whole thing just played so perfectly. But it really struck me watching it that I'm so happy we shot that scene at the river court because in a way, without having to say it, Millie was meeting a part of Mouth that predates her, but it's so central to who he is. Yeah. And that's how your locations can become characters in your story. And I thought it just really added something for me watching it back now.
Every time they're on the river court, and there was quite a bit of that in this episode.
Yeah.
We didn't use it as much as I wish we had over the last few seasons.
Same.
Because it is such a central piece. And I get that the boys weren't really playing basketball anymore. So it just became this place that sometimes characters would go to stop and think because it was some place they used to go. It's like their thinking spot, which was sweet. But I was really happy to see that in this episode. And you and I had a scene there.
Oh, let's talk about that wind, baby.
It was so windy, but it felt like it was only windy on my side. I don't know if you noticed this.
No.
Every time they shot to you, your hair was perfect. Your makeup was perfect. The sun wasn't in your eyes. It was just like, ah. And then they cut to me and it was like the Bizarro World version of it where I was like, my eyes were, you could see my mascara was down on my eyes because my eyes were watering from the sun being in there.
Yeah.
And my hair just could not be tamed. And my makeup was, my skin was like eating my makeup and all of it. It's like, I felt like, who did she play in Kate McKinnon and Barbie? What was that?
Yes.
Oh, Messy Barbie or whatever.
Something like that. Yeah, I totally felt like that when made me laugh. But it was a really sweet scene. I loved seeing us together do that.
I loved it too. And I loved that because it was the burning boat, it gave us the device of people are going to go sit at the river court and watch this thing get constructed. And I remember really, wanting to tell the story in the way I wanted to tell it as a director and really wanting to fight for all these scenes to be there no matter what. And then watching it back going, oh yeah, that's why they hated shooting at the river court because of the wind, because we had to ADR all the dialogue. We had to loop every single line. They couldn't control the weather. Like
it was a pain in the ass for transpo too, because if it rained, there was just, we were in a pool everywhere you walked.
I have a question about the burning boat of it all. Because I have only ever known like a burning boat type ceremony, like a Viking funeral, to be when the boat is actually on the water. It's kind of the point of it. It can burn itself all the way into the water. So I was very surprised when it was a landlocked ship. So was there ever talk in this episode of it actually being a floating boat?
No, because we had done a burning boat just like this in the high school years, and it was in the exact same place.
Oh.
So it's like a town tradition.
Yeah. So when you open your speech, when Haley's talking and says, welcome back to our tradition, we haven't seen it in, I don't know, 7 or 8 seasons, but apparently we do it every year. And apparently that's the fireproof platform on the bricks.
Man, they really missed that too, because that would have been a fun thing to do. Like everybody's guaranteed at the end of every season, there's a burning boat episode and what's going to happen and all the drama.
Also, it's the 93rd annual burning boat. Like, are you telling me they were burning boats on land and in 1900? Like, no, come on. You know that they were pushing those things out. They didn't have a fireproof area, but regardless, it still looked great. But as soon as I started watching that and I saw that it wasn't going to go to the water, I was like, I got to ask Soph if she was pushing for that to be on water, and maybe it was just like logistically impossible or something.
Yeah, I think it's a little logistically impossible because, when you remove the movie magic of it, the boat is burning most of the time with gas lines, like little pipes that are letting flames out. You can really see it when it starts. It's like little fingers of fire that aren't really touching anything. And they don't burn the boat for a day because you're filming all the stuff that happens before they really soak it in whatever they soak it in and light it on fire. And so the boat ironically has to burn, but also not burn. So it's part of the reason they keep it on land, because they've got all the tanks underneath it and all the things that allow them to control the fire for however many, nights of filming prior to the actual burn you have to do. And so that was a weird thing too, logistically, sitting with the producers and going, well, how are we going to burn the boat for hours before we burn the boat? Like fire's fire. What do you mean?
Yeah. And if you spray it down, then it doesn't relight all of a sudden.
Yeah. So there were all these crazy things that we had to do. And there is one moment when it starts to burn and you can really just see that it's all the gas line tubes that made me cringe then and makes me cringe now. Because they were like, don't worry, we'll never use the very beginning. And I'm like, you used the very beginning.
You never believe them when they say that. Never believe them. Actors, when people tell you we'll never use it, do not believe the lies.
Terrible.
To the end, though, I did not notice that shot. So you only noticed it because you are aware of it. I doubt anyone else, unless it's a fan who's watching it back for the 4th time or something.
It's like, why does the fire look weird? Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I really do love about the boat, as much as I hated the rigging? I love that it gave us a central place for people to gather. Like Joy was saying, even the Chase and Haley run-ins, seeing Brooke and Victoria, I forgot about the gag with the golf clubs for us. And trying to haul those up into the boat together is so funny to me. And just watching everybody come to this place to put something down, to try to get rid of something. And then Antoine being our star comedian with CDs. It's such a good device, the traditional moment.
Yeah, and also that's such a relatable human moment that of course someone is just going to come and want to just dump their trash. Of course they are.
I don't need these.
That might not be good for the environment or for the cause.
I mean, such a funny moment between the two of you, Joy, because you having to be like, no, but you can't burn these. And he's like, but why? And you're like, but and him leaving and you having to push the box down behind the pirate. There were moments that I remember thinking, because of the set deck we had, like, I want some of these moments to almost feel a little campy, like Pirates of the Caribbean. And that was one of the moments that really worked for me. And then I forgot that the payoff of you getting stuck with the CDs was finding the Friends with Benefit.
Yes, I love that. And even bringing Peyton back into the fray, just was seeing her on the poster. I feel like they did that every chance they could on the show. Would just bring in, the people that we loved that weren't there anymore. That made me happy to see they opened that poster. I was like, oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
Speaking of bringing people back, we had a fun little 1-episode cameo by Miss Sasha Jackson, Kylie.
Yes.
Where I was like, what? Oh, okay. I haven't seen this character in a while.
Was she on the show before?
Yeah. She was like a sort of a fling of clays.
Mm-hmm. She's the one who swims naked in his pool.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes so much more sense.
She's the one Quinn dumps a smoothie on.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know why. I guess just of all the storylines that I'm trying to hold in my brain, that one didn't stick in. But that makes so much more sense because my notes are like, why are we... Not that I don't love she's a lovely actress, but I was like, why are we wasting time on new characters that we don't know? Like, we've got one episode left or 2 episodes now. Like, we've got these twins that we're looking at this Australian girl. I'm like, what's going on? Why are we not paying attention to us?
It was like the cameos for people that we loved through the seasons. But
now it makes sense. Yes.
The one thing I like about that, though, is that we actually gave her being there, gave Jerry an opportunity to actually do something for once. And he was very funny with it. Very funny.
Yeah.
Which I feel like he's been around so long that he deserved to have something that's like fun, as opposed to just like, you shouldn't have done that. You're fired. You're on thin ice,
Yeah.
Like, he actually got to be funny and be the butt of a joke. And, it was great. And of course, we managed to put her in a bikini at the end of it.
Of course.
Us.
With the chicken head.
With a chicken head.
Why not? Why not? Even the chicken head got a cameo again.
That's the way to look at it.
But another great moment from that runner was when she freezes on air and just goes, wanker. Yeah. And then later when it's Mills and Skills reporting, he pretends to freeze and says wanker, and you're like, no way it's happening again. He's like, nah, I'm just messing with you. Immediately great.
Immediately, he's the best.
I completely forgot that we got Millie and Skills together.
Yeah.
That it turned into Mouth and Skills. But like, wait, am I saying it wrong?
Mills and Skills.
Mills and Skills.
And that's what he comes up with after his faux freeze.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm just messing with you. You got Mills and Skills reporting. Right. And he's just like, he's got the ad libs. He's got
already.
The jokes.
Oh, yeah.
He's perfect
he knows.
for this job.
I just love seeing them together again, and love that we gave Antoine something to do that was like real and integral. Getting back involved in the storyline where he's going to have some agency and actually something to do rather than just reacting to everybody else's stuff. I thought that was that's always really fun.
I also loved that came about from Millie and Mouth standing up to Jerry. And Jerry getting his real great comedy moment and then saying, well, fine, you come up with a co-host. And in unison, immediately they both say Skills. It's like, they know what the show needs. They know what the town needs. And it's right. It's like a perfectly correct move. And then you see the payoff at how good he is. And I don't know, maybe I'm thinking about it because I just interviewed Carson Daly on my other show and was talking about like our early TRL days. And I was like, oh my God, Skills is giving me full TRL Carson Daly VJ, like perfection. And it feels right.
How great was Julian in this episode?
That was my next thing. This Dirty Dancing moment was so funny when he's trying to give a speech to your dad and he's like, I will not let anyone put her in a corner, and please don't stop taking me seriously because I just used a Dirty Dancing quote.
Yeah. Despite my Dirty Dancing references, I will continue to reprimand you for being a less than father.
And then even when, he's like, what kind of person would do that? Hint, it rhymes with thick. And then it was so funny that it's somehow funny when he's also really sticking the landing of being like, it's dick, which is funny because like everyone knows what it is. But then he goes, it's dick, Ted. You're a dick. You should be ashamed of yourself. And I was like, that was so cathartic to watch. I was like, oh my God, that would like, there was such a strong theme in this episode of partners.
Yes.
And the way partners are friends and their teammates and how they are showing up for each other. It's Millie potentially losing her love as a co-host because she sees he could be happier doing something else. It's Julian going to bat with Brooke's dad because he knows she deserves better. It's Quinn putting up the picture of Sarah in Logan's
that broke
room.
my heart. That was so good in the best way.
This show, it's like we've talked about this before, but like this show is about relationships, about like and friendships. I think I remember saying this like very early on doing this podcast with you, but that's like I saw so much of that. I feel like when the show is really shining, it's often around the theme of like friendships and relationships. And this episode delivered. Like everyone got to have that.
Haley and Chase, even so, Brooke's parents, the partnership that they were trying to figure out. Yes, I agree with you wholeheartedly.
And something I really loved is that every single leading man on our show took a beat to thank his woman. Because we haven't seen that a lot. And Rob, you even talked about it a couple weeks ago. Even what Quinn has been patient with, put up with, like the way people stay, each of you with her and Julian with Brooke and Lee and Mouse with Millie, we had these scenes where each man said, hey, I need to tell you something. I need to thank you for the way that you show up. I need to thank you for the way that you support me. I need to thank you for the way that you believe in me. And it was just so lovely. And for all the grotesquely, stereotypically masculine ick we've gotten on our show over the years, including putting Kylie in the bikini and the chicken head in this episode, like these were such moments of shining heroic masculine goodness and like emotional intelligence. And it was gorge. Like I loved watching all three of you in those scenes. It was just like, it was a little boat for me for sure.
I was really happy to see Clay and Quinn together. Like the way that you guys, it felt like we were finally getting, I guess I said it before, like this family that we always finally wanted you guys to settle into. Mm-hmm. And Logan coming in and the model airplane, but the way that Quinn supported you, even bringing in the photo and setting down the photo of Sarah, and like, it broke my heart in the best way. I just felt like this is what a real partner does.
Yes.
Yeah.
I embrace all of you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of the, Clay thanking Quinn, Julian thanking Brooke, I related to it. I identified with that. Like I have that in my own marriage, in my relationship, where there are moments where Jenny speaks confidence and support into me at a time when like I really need it, and it's a team sport. And so our wins are team wins. So I just thought that was a nice moment because it not only was it beautiful, it's so real and authentic that I think a lot of people can relate to.
Mm-hmm.
And Pierce, are you kidding me? Pierce, when he's looking at the ocean and he says, does it get any closer? Because he's afraid of the ocean. And he backs up. I was like, protect this child at all costs.
Yeah.
I know.
Just so sweet. And having the element, as you're saying, to honor all of a person, when you fall in love with someone who comes from things, they bring those things into your relationship, and to love someone who's been through grief is a big thing. And to watch Clay and Quinn have navigated grief, and then all the jumping the shark stuff in between, and now be navigating with this little boy, to have the totality of it in this little cocoon. That was one of the things that I remember talking to Set Deck about, and I really wanted the cocoon to be a warm color. Or the tent, sorry. Because I wanted it to feel like a cocoon. And we found this like butterfly wing orange tent so that it would really feel like they went into this bubble and they came out as a better version of something. And it worked. And even like we made, I don't know if you remember, Rob, but we made a projector light. We did a stencil of the Green Lantern symbol, and we made a tiny projector light that we had to hide in between you guys, in between the
blankets or something.
The sleeping bags, so that when Pierce comes up into frame with the ring that you need to propose, and then she puts it on, we wanted to cheat that, like in a superhero movie, like a bat signal, the ring would shine through the roof of the tent. But we had to make a light to do it, because obviously it was like a teeny tiny thing that didn't have that much power. And seeing it again,
So
I
cool.
remember sitting in the chair watching you guys on monitor, like in tears, because it worked. But seeing it 10 years later, like watching as a fan on my giant TV, I was sobbing. I was like, oh my God, it works. It's so special. They deserve this.
Yeah. And it, even to like the writing of it, so there's just such respect, right? Because I understand, like, first of all, Clay has no idea what he's doing. He's just trying his best, as is Quinn, as is Logan, right? But I understand why Clay might not have put a picture of Sarah up, because he's not sure how that's going to make Quinn feel, and he's navigating this for the first time. She's being incredibly supportive. So I'm like, I understand why Clay might not have done that.
Yeah.
Respect. And then but the fact that Quinn is the one to be like, I know this needs to be here. She's showing like respect for Sarah and respect to Clay and Logan. And then the fact that then like that Logan then sort of gives permission for like them all to be a family by taking the picture of the three of them and putting it in the frame next to Sarah was so beautiful.
So smart.
It was so good.
I was thinking that I really missed seeing you guys with everybody at the burning boat, but it felt so right to have this time of rest and connection for the three of you, that as much as it was like, oh, I wish it would have been fun to have like all of our faces there, but this is what Quinn and Clay needed. This is the cap on the bow, if you will, on this long story, this long journey that they've been on together.
Yeah, it was all right. And I appreciated that a lot of the humor in the episode, which you needed because you were getting such big emotional payoffs, I appreciated that the humor wasn't so outlandish, even with you three, trying to work with him to not be afraid of the ocean. And you're like, oh my God, and he's here with us and his grandparents and he can't sleep and it's this thing. And then his mom who passed away. And, Quinn's like, it's the immensity. I totally get it. And he's like, I'm scared of sharks.
Oh my gosh.
And it's like, like it pierced.
So good.
It like let just a little of the emotional pressure out in the most perfect way. That was so sweet. And you remember like, oh yeah, he's also just 6.
Yeah.
He's a kid.
We totally do that as parents and adults, like project all this stuff. Like, are you subconsciously feeling like, so like, no, I'm just afraid of sharks. That's it.
He's like, first of all, I don't know what immensity means. And second of all, have you heard of sharks?
Yeah. Sea monsters. Like, it's just perfect.
He was great. And as much as I have issues with the road we took to get here, boy, this is a really nice destination. And I was talking with, we were at a convention last weekend and I was talking with some fans. I was finding myself asking like, what's your favorite season? And it was really interesting to hear what people thought. And then someone asked me and I was saying, I've only seen 7, 8, 9, but I gotta say, for as much as I have kind of ripped on season 9 for the first half of it, it is giving such a strong finish that it is becoming a contender for my favorite season.
Yeah. I love that. I also have to give, speaking of comedy, I have to give the most amazing props to my parents.
Daphne, I know I was going to say, when you walk into that hotel room,
Daphne and Richard just crushed this. And even, it's funny, when I realized, oh, this is the episode where Brooke catches them, I went back to watch us putting the golf clubs in the boat. And she's like, maybe you should just hear him out. And she has just a hint of something. And I look at her and she goes, so we can make fun of him or whatever, if for nothing else than to see him flailing in the wind. Like, she covers, but Daphne's so good that she had a little something under what she was saying then. So when you get into the hotel room and it's like the robe and then the bed and then the hair and then the dun-dun of the chocolate covered strawberries, which for whatever reason are the hotel sex giveaway. She just crushes.
Let me give you some props because no one plays horrified like you. And
so true.
You are so good with comedy, but I got to tell you, comedy comes in threes. And so there's when when Richard comes out shirtless, looking like he's chiseled from stone. That's incredible, by the way. What are you doing, sir? I mean, making all the right choices, apparently.
Right?
I watched that scene and was like, I got to go for a jog.
Honestly, same.
But so Brooke, you did an amazing face and you're like, oh my God. And you leave the room and there's a beat. And then Richard says, Ted says to Victoria, funny, that's what you were saying last night. There's our second. And then from out on the other side of the door, you hear Brooke go, oh my God, again.
Yes.
So good.
And then Daphne picks it up and goes, oh my God. And it just...
The timing.
I remember when we were getting that and needing to figure out how I could start to back out of the room in just the right way so that he could come out of the door and we could smack into each other. And I remember telling Maddie, our camera operator, when we do it, keep the frame above his towel because I want the audience for a minute to think Brooke has just slammed into her naked dad. And then when we start to move, you see that he has a towel around him. But for a moment, it's like, it's already the worst thing that could happen, but it seems even worse. And then the cacophony of, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, like the build, you think it's over when Daphne does the slow burn one. And then when they walk into Brooke and Julian's and it happens again, it's like that kind of comedic writing and timing is my very favorite thing in the world to play.
Yeah. Oh.
Or when he squeezes her butt when they are leaving your apartment, and then Julian does it to Brooke,
does it back,
and you're like, ew, no, it was so good. Wait, I want to go back to the beach scene for a second because I noticed, and I was just curious if you caught this or if you remembered this, that when Quinn is getting Logan to walk out into the water and we are shooting out into the ocean, did you notice that there was just a random dude in the water in the background?
Like a surfer?
No, just like a dude.
I didn't see that.
Like half of a guy. And then it's funny because then the camera kind of crops him out. And I was laughing going like, I wonder if it was just someone swimming and you guys were like, get the rando out of the shot.
Like, what are you doing, sir?
Which it's, by the way, totally okay. Clay lives on a public beach. But
course.
it's just funny because those moments you're not used to seeing someone who's not in the show just like casually filling in the corner of a frame. So I was like,
yeah, and when they're cropped out, like clearly, I was saying Matt Dahl, our camera operator, I'm sure was just like slightly moving the camera.
Yeah, let me do this slowly so you don't really notice, but I fixed the problem. That's so great.
I love watching that on shows when you can spot a problem and you see the camera just slightly moving.
Mm-hmm.
Comedy didn't stop there because we had old Chase bringing it with the totally not a cry for help runner in that scene with Haley, which he was so good in this episode. I mean, we say this about Steven all the time, but
he's so
his
underrated.
stuff was funny, but also really grounded.
Yeah.
He just never tries too hard. It makes me so happy when I watch him. Like, oh, I can relax. I don't, there's an anxiety I feel as a viewer when I'm watching an actor that I feel like is trying really hard. I just get a little like, I don't know what is your expectation of me? I'm like not even in the same room with the person. It was filmed, a year ago, but I'm watching it like, oh God, I don't know how to react to this.
Yeah.
But Steven's just so easy to watch because he's just so unconcerned with anything. I mean, he's just so natural. I don't know how else to say it.
I also like that he leaned into the stress and the nervousness and nothing is working and I don't know how I'm going to pay for all of this. These are real world problems and he's leaning into them with, the best listener. He's talking to Haley, but also like Haley's a rock star who's married to a basketball player. And then it's like that dawns on him and he looks at you and just so deadpan, not a cry for help. It's like, I'm not meaning to stress you out for as much as I'm stressed out. And it's the dryness that makes it so funny, but also lets you hold the emotion underneath it. It's so well played on his part.
And also a hilarious, very small hint of a callback to Haley working at the crisis center.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah. Good old Haley, always there for advice when someone needs it.
Did we ever find out? Because I know at the end, Haley's like, what if the bar was yours? Like, what if you just bought it?
Yeah.
Like, I'm broke, so no. And Haley says something to the effect of like, I have an idea about that. we didn't hear the plan for that, correct? I didn't miss that.
No, she just goes to Karen, I guess,
Yeah.
and has a conversation with her, which definitely annoyed me that we didn't have Moira back on the show for that episode. I don't remember if we got her back for the next one, but we'll find out.
Well, the pebble that we drop is the Friends with Benefit flyer that you find.
Yeah.
And obviously we know how the next episode ends. So you can kind of imagine that we do a big fundraiser to buy the bar. I would bet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I would bet is the plan. It's very cool, the nods to high school. And, you know, they managed to tell a story. I do wish we'd had Moira. I remember a few things, you know, just sort of from behind the scenes directing. Like, I'd wanted a photo. I'd wanted Haley to get a text message of a photo of Nathan and Jamie camping. Like, we could have just taken it in the back of the studio against a tree, like whatever. Nice. And it was one of those things because we were wrapping in November and then these episodes were going to air like March and April. They were like, yeah, we'll get it. And then I watched the final cut and I'm like, nobody remembered my note. And there was a thing as well where I remember because of the boat, the way we did it, they hadn't set up like a side container to do inserts of burning. We were going to do it at the studio and then we ran out of time and then they were like, oh, we'll do it during the finale. And then obviously it didn't happen. So you miss Brooke's diary burning, which was one of those things I wanted because the diary was such a runner in the episode.
Yeah.
And I loved that it called us back, kind of like the boys in the river court. I love that we got the call back to the early seasons because, Rob, there's this voiceover that I have. I think it's maybe top of season 3 or maybe it's season 2. Running like in the morning, sneaking out of a boy's house that I've slept over at, sneaking back into mine, being like, you know, good girls keep diaries and bad girls don't have time. So that's why when Brooke brings Julian the diary and is like, I used to say I didn't keep one of these. It's just because I didn't want anyone to find it. Mm-hmm. And then you hear about all the turmoil at home and the parents' arguments and, you know, we don't talk to each other. We've never sat together. That's the runner that gets you to the end. Again, our final picnic table moment at the river court with this family finally sitting together. And I was like, my burning journal shot is missing from this moment right before the fireworks. But it's fine. I'll get over it.
I did love that moment though. I mean, the over the shoulder shot of those you three, like just onto the burning boat, up into the fireworks, that big crane shot. Was it a crane or a drone at this point?
Yeah, it was a crane.
I don't remember.
And those were Viz FX, right?
Yeah, the fireworks were fake.
Yeah. But what do you think was on the one page of Brooke's diary that she tore out and wouldn't let Julian see?
Yeah.
I would imagine, here's my thought. Because there was the overlap in season 6 where Julian and Lucas worked together, I imagine it was a story about Lucas that she was like, let's not burn that into my husband's memory. Like, because not only to rip it out, but then to eat it to stop him from seeing it. Yeah, that's what I think.
So
that's
fun.
What I think.
We had fun on this show. I do remember shooting this episode. It's like not a super clear, but I do feel the nostalgia that we all felt when we were walking around downtown. Like, oh my gosh, we're doing another burning boat. Oh my gosh, this is almost over. Mm-hmm. Wow. Really, it was like a time when we were all really soaking up our time with each other, knowing that we only had one more left. Yeah. There's only a few weeks left. It really kicked into our brains. A lot of us, I think all of a sudden we're like, okay, we're not dealing with crazy storylines. We don't have anything insane happening where we really have to focus and be stressed out at long hours or late nights. Or it was just, we were just hanging all together. It felt really good.
It was just so sweet.
Only one more left.
Only one more left. I'm not well.
Oh my gosh.
Cody's question is, One Tree Hill was my show growing up. Everyone knew it. That night each week, the family TV was mine. I wept when the series ended. OTH absolutely shaped me in a lot of ways. When it ended, I felt like a little part of me died. I know I'm being dramatic, but hey, I learned from the best. I want to know, what is your One Tree Hill? What is the show, movie, book, etc. that shaped you and played a massively influential role in your life?
Oh my
Damn,
gosh, I wish
Cody.
I'd read this question before now.
I know, to think about it. I have answers in chunks. So like college going into filming One Tree Hill, Sex and the City was it for me. I'd never seen women's stories told that way, women shot that way, women centered that way. It really influenced so much of how I felt about our show. I think about after our show wrapped, being home and Jenny and I going like so deep on Orphan Black and just being obsessed and watching, you know, what was possible in story. And then I think about, you know, in my adult life, like lately it's the books that have really impacted me. Like Maggie Smith's book, You Could Make This Place Beautiful. Like it is like a religious text for me. Prior to that, in between these times, Cheryl Strayed, Tiny Beautiful Things. I read it every year, once a year. It's a tradition. Like, I think there are the stories that find you for these moments in your life. And I think it's why hearing things like this from people like you, Cody, is so meaningful, because for us to have been such a part of your life is, I don't know, like we have that, and it's really profound. So thank you for sharing. What do you guys have? Do you do them in chunks too? Or do you think it's like one thing?
Yeah, mine's in chunks. I mean, it doesn't have the same emotional weight, but I Love Lucy really. I mean, I grew up watching it from when I was a kid, and I continue to watch it. It's still on in my house on Saturday mornings. It's just, she's just such a genius, and it's so fun. I never stop laughing at it. And The Twilight Zone, I think really, I always had a very, even from when I was a kid or like adolescent, the concept of mortality was not a fearful thing for me. So I wasn't afraid of the macabre or the things that were bizarre. I was really intrigued and wanted to understand more. So I really liked The Twilight Zone because it explored a lot of those themes in a way that was fun. And then, I mean, I'm trying to think of the thing that really got me emotional. The show that ended that I felt emotional. I was like, how am I going to keep moving after this is done? I'm kind of embarrassed to say it because I feel like you guys are going to laugh at me. But it's so cliche. Game of Thrones.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It's so cliche.
Don't apologize
this
for that.
But like, I was going through my divorce while like Tyrion Lannister was just like getting beaten down. And I was like, I just desperately need an underdog to win in something in my life. I need to see that like really amazing things can happen for people that are like down at their worst.
Yeah.
And he won that battle, like the huge battle. If you're a fan of Game of Thrones, you know which one I'm talking about. I don't even know how to name them because I wasn't that kind of a fan where I knew the details.
Okay.
I just was like a character fan. But he basically wins this massive, massive, massive battle for his family, or is it for someone else's family? I can't even remember. It was a huge battle that he won, and he's this tiny guy. And then as the story kept going, I just fell so deeply in love with these characters and their humanity, and it deeply connected with me. So when it was over, I was really sad. I felt like I lost a lot of friends all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Man, I would,
Rob?
for me, it's the same with chunks. And as far as things being influential, it's been all comedies for me. Because like I remember the first time I watched Wet Hot American Summer, there were jokes in that I remember thinking, I didn't know you could do that. Like I remember ending that movie and I felt like, like new neural pathways, new wrinkles are in my brain because I wasn't even aware that was an option. Like it was like someone went, hey, by the way, we have 4 new colors of crayons. And I was like, holy seriously? So like that, like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, I had never seen humor and dialogue intertwined so seamlessly. And I was like, I guess this is an option. We can do this, and then
It's like The West Wing.
Yes.
Same.
Arrested Development. I was like, I had no idea we could do this. So for me, it's been comedies where like I feel like there's been a new part of my brain has opened up that I can now play in that I didn't even know existed.
Yeah. I love that. Especially, you're right, comedy can crack expectation in a way that I think sometimes drama doesn't. Like,
it's harder.
I had that same feeling watching Parks and Rec. I was like, this can be work. This can be what we do. Oh my God. Like, oh, it's so fun.
It's probably also because I think humor is my strike zone. Like, it's my love language. It's my self-defense tool. It's kind of my Swiss Army knife. So I think it makes sense that the most impactful stuff has been when it is geared towards that, you know?
Yeah.
Great question, Cody.
Oh, such a good question,
Cody.
Cody.
Start a
Thank
podcast,
you.
Cody.
Aw. I guess let's spin a wheel, guys.
Let's do it.
Second to last wheel.
Oh, this one is great. Most likely to text their ex during Mercury retrograde.
That's so funny.
I'm going to say it's not any of the boys because I don't think any of us would know when Mercury is in retrograde.
I don't usually know either. I mean, I guess sometimes I feel weird and then I find out later that Mercury was in retrograde and I'm like, oh, I guess that's a habit.
You know what character I actually think it is? Chase.
Yes.
That boy loves to text his ex.
That's very on point for this episode.
And you know what? Who's going to be talking more about Mercury retrograde than some sad person sitting at a bar? So he would overhear it and probably get a little swept away in the story and then decide to text one of the ladies who he was deleting from his phone in this very episode.
Perfect. That's the answer.
Cosign.
All right. Join us next week because we have kind of a big episode in that it's the final episode, season 9, episode 13. Couldn't think of a better title, One Tree Hill.
Oh my God, I'm going to cry. Okay, see you next week.
Bye.
Love you guys.
Hey, thanks for listening.
Don't forget to leave us a review. You can also follow us on Instagram at DramaQueensOTH.
Or email us at dramaqueens@iheartradio.com. See you next time.
We're all about that high school drama girl, all about them high school queens. We'll take you for a ride in our comic girl, cheering for the right team. Drama queens, smart girl, rough girl, fashion but you're tough girl. You could sit with us, girl. Drama queens, drama queens, drama queens, drama queens, drama queens.